Just acknowledging you all for being here, for being aligned, for being powered up, for being willing to for being open and being alive in this time, in this season in life. Inviting you to grab pen and paper and to grab some water so that you can hydrate yourself as you engage in this conversation about using your tools to refuel. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to all who have been here before, and welcome anew to those who are here for the very first time. Looking forward to playing with you today and unpacking this conversation, and then also learning and co-creating with all of you. So thank you once again for being here. Thank you. So if you've just arrived in the space, just want to acknowledge you. Thank you for your presence and participation. See if we could hold off on the video. Good morning, Teresa and Cassie and Arian, all of you awesome folk.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke. Stay woke, it's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving, together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming, together, together.
Greetings and good morning again, everyone. This is Coach Shawnee Benton Gibson, and you are watching episode 322 of the Wake Up Everybody virtual series. And I'm so grateful to be with all of you. I'm hailing right now in this moment from Atlanta, Georgia. Have spent a few days here with family, and just really so grateful to be spending this time out in the fresh air and with the trees and just the animals and just all of that good stuff that makes life worth living and that I forget about sometimes because I live in the city of New York. Just want to roll it back a little bit and welcome you into the space of session 322, which is using your tools to refuel. I am so grateful to be able to present this particular subject matter today because sometimes I forget. So last night, or really yesterday afternoon, I went to the airport so that I could travel back home. And I dropped my kids off at the terminal, my daughter Jasmine and my son Najaya, and was like, okay, y'all go in, do what you need to do, and I'm going to drop the car off at the rental space so I can come back and join you and go through security and do what I have to do. And that did not work out. I don't know if you know Atlanta Airport, but it's huge. There's lots of twists and turns and trains and transitions. And a lot of people were here yesterday, flying back out from wherever to go wherever after visiting their mamas here in Atlanta. So, or coming from another place and making that transition to another city. And so I missed my flight. And so I'm here another day. And because there are no accidents, because I know how to use my tools to refuel and recalibrate and restructure and restore, I was able to do that and make the adjustments so that I'm here sitting with you today and not in my regular spot, which is in my dining room. So I want to get started by asking all of you to grab pen and paper. We will absolutely need that for this session. I'm also going to ask if you are not able to grab some water, because I was telling the team this morning that sometimes I'm just like, oh, we'll rock through this. It's not going to be that deep or, heavy as far as conversation, but you just never know when I'm in the space. One of my nicknames is the surgeon. So, I'm not intending to slice and dice, but it ends up happening anyway. So I'm just going to invite you to get some water, to just ground yourself, prepare yourself if you're able. Some of you may be driving in the car, traveling to work, or doing what you need to do to transition to the next part of your day. And wherever you are, it's perfect. I always ask too when I'm in the space, if there's some sister or brother that is normally here or that you want to be here, please invite them, because we always want to have folks have tools so they can negotiate life, especially in these days and times where life is popping off in these really weird ways, sometimes traumatic, sometimes dramatic. So please do invite folks if you know that they would want to be here in this conversation about how to use your tools to refuel. So today we're just going to dive right in, and I want you all to consider something that you have been dealing with as of late that has really sapped you of your energy. That when you think about it, experience it, you feel like this drain, like almost like the breath is taken out of your body, or if it's not that extreme, you feel as if it creates distraction for you. It might be a dynamic that you're dealing with regard to a relationship. It might be job related. It might be love related, and that's relationship oriented too. It might be physical health challenges, like Tiffany was sharing this morning that she's not feeling her physical self, like grounded in that. Think about something that kind of zaps you of your power or pieces of it, and place that in the chat, like what that is that you're dealing with lately, not something from the past, but something that is present in your life right now that you can call upon, that really takes you there. And you know that it doesn't serve you to go there, or maybe it does serve you to go there, so you can process, but you don't have necessarily the tools in front of you to actually go there and process in a way that makes sense and that moves you through quickly so you can get to the other side. So I see Zakia said dealing with her daughter. Can you elaborate? Dealing with her in what way? Is it conversations? Is you watching what she does? You don't even talk what you witness, and then you get taken off your space of peace, or out of your space of feeling homeostasis, and you feel kind of discombobulated just by witnessing what she says or does. Let's see, her job. Terry says her job. So be specific, family. What about your job? You're not making enough money. You feel stressed. Maybe it's your current supervisor, or maybe it's the type of job you're doing that requires you maybe to engage with the public, and it's overwhelming sometimes. Or maybe you don't have enough resources on your job. And with some people, since COVID, there's less people but more work. Like folks were furloughed, they had to, downsize, as they say, and then you're left with an upsized level of work. So maybe that's the situation with the job. Relationship and physical pain. So Teresa Scott's relationship with somebody, family member, intimate partner, physical pain in what way? Let's be as specific as possible. And we have 26 people in the space. So I'm really looking for some more responses in this chat. So y'all rolling over, you yawning, your eyes are crusted over and you can't see, and open up your eyes to type. Facebook family, Charmaine, when you get ready, you can share some of the stuff that folks have said in that space. So please, y'all, I'm up and, breathing and calibrated, got my earrings on, a little lipstick on my lips, trying to do this. I need y'all to co-create this space with me. So Wendy, thank you. Readjusting to moving back home. Where's back home? And dealing with my husband in this separation, I think you meant to write. Kaisha, relationship with a man and knowing my work challenges. So you're in a relationship with someone new right now and trying to figure out like whether you should stay or go because of issues around worth and acceptance of things that don't align with what you want. Separated state, got that, Wendy. Safia, my job, the amount of work required. Medea says not being able to find viable employment after continued search and resume distribution and resume. Resume. That's another way to say it, resume distribution. Thank you all, and keep them coming. Keep them coming. So when we're dealing with stuff, sometimes what we do is engage in utilizing our go-to responses or reactions to whatever that is. And some of those go-tos don't serve us. So as it relates to being overwhelmed at work, Safia, or in the situation of separation, Wendy, or Kaisha, negotiating this, should I be with this person or not be with this person? Like, negotiating whether you should explore intimate partnership with someone and it's not necessarily working out. In a situation where you're underemployed or unemployed, like what go-to tools or mechanisms do you bring to that state of being or that circumstance that does not serve you? So I'm going to give an example for myself while I wait on all of you, because we have like supposedly 30 minutes for the session. I'll do what is necessary to unpack it, and if we need more time, we need more time. But what is the go-to that you have that doesn't serve? So for me, yesterday, after I missed my flight, for those of you who are just arriving and didn't hear me talk about this, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia at my cousin's house, and it's beautiful here. We had a great time, but I was, scheduled to go home yesterday, and I missed my flight. So, for some reason, being in the airport without my children and sitting and trying to figure out what the next steps were had me thinking about my daughter that passed away. And I was just like, oh my God. So I was in the airport walking around, and then the tears just started to come. I'm like, oh my God. Then I got in an Uber, and then in the back of the Uber, started looking at Facebook, and my son-in-law, he was posting pictures of her and her dancing. And I was just like, and the tears started to come. And that's, for me, crying is a tool. It's a tool that I use so that I can release. I don't try to deny it, but I just was like, oh my God, this grief thing, it just catches me and others in ways that I'm just not prepared for. So I started feeling this energy drain, and I'm driving to my cousin's house, and I'm like, if I come in there crying, they're gonna be like, what's up, what's wrong? And I'll shift the whole mood. So I was just so conscious of that. So I'm wiping the tears away. And then I just started to allow myself to just breathe a bit and just be and not resist. So a tool that I use is acceptance. One of the tools is just accepting where I am in the present moment and allow myself to move through and to allow that to happen. And another tool that I used yesterday is I chose not to respond to a bunch of the messages that I was receiving, because the community loves me and I love them. And I was just like, it was overwhelming for me. And so I read lightly through the text messages and, things that I received. But a tool sometimes for me to utilize, and I don't always because I'm a doer and a communicator, is to step back and to be silent. So yesterday I didn't do a whole bunch of calling of people. I didn't text a lot of people. I did limited reading of the text messages. I was like, I'll look at it tomorrow, which is today, and I will do that and respond accordingly. But I just had to take a moment to recalibrate myself and just be with the fact that, I lost a child on this Mother's Day, and she was big on Mother's Day. And so she's not present. So I was like, had to negotiate the energy differently. So yours, I see, Zakia, you said that what takes your power and zaps you of your equilibrium is your daughter. She is a bully. That's what you're declaring. She is verbally and emotionally and psychologically abusive. She goes from 0 to 100 in 3 seconds. No matter how many blessings she receives, as soon as one little thing goes wrong, nothing ever goes right for her. And then Ariane wrote her relationship with her mother. Let's see. Thank you for sharing this. So anybody in the space willing to come off mute and raise your hand digitally, because I'm not really looking at the visuals here, that is willing to talk to me about that space. And I want to hear from some folks that aren't normally in here or expressing. Um, let's see.
Shawnee C raised her
I,
hand. Did
I
you
know.
want to?
I
Okay.
know, and I know we talk a lot, so I'm just trying to, y'all know how I am. It's just like I want to hear from folks that aren't normally willing to go there and who haven't worked with as much. I think when I was last here, I know when I was last here, I worked with Zakia. So, Kaisha, I haven't heard your voice in a while. I would love to talk with you about this new circumstance with exploring intimate partnerships. So, if you're willing to come off mute and share with me, I would love to do that. And Safia, while we wait to see if Kaisha is going to come off mute, I'm seeing that Safia said for her job situation where she feels overloaded, her low vibrational response, and that's my terminology, is turning off and turning out. I shut down electronically, and sometimes I literally put the covers over my head when I feel overwhelmed. I get you, hon. I get you. And are we ready for Kaisha or no?
I'm here.
Okay,
I'm just
wonderful.
waiting for you to
All
finish.
right, and if we can show her as well, I'd love to see her beautiful face. I love my Kaisha and your smile.
Oh, wait.
No, wait a minute. Don't show me yet. What you doing? Wait a minute. You didn't say we were going to show me.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yay. All right, and if y'all can adjust
Okay.
so we can see her and it can volley back between us, we can go into speaker view. I think it's on spotlight for
Okay.
me.
Real quick, because I know you don't have that much time.
No, don't rush.
Just
I love it. No rushing.
dating this guy, the vibe was very great, was very good. 2 months, it was really fast. On the phone, it's long distance. In Texas, long distance in Texas. On the phone, the effort was there. I've seen him a few times within the 2 months. And it was great, good looking man. It was good. The red flag, the red flag is he hardly ever talked to me inside the house, inside of his home. So and video chat. We did video chat. He's not. I'm not cat. He's real. To say,
You gotta check these days because the catfish life is real. Like it might not be a real person, or the person they say that they're being.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, and actually, you're right about that. Yeah, because he was very surprised that I look like my pictures. It's weird, but the red flag, and so I went. It's been 2 months, so I didn't dig into it, and I kind of put my wall up. Oh, we just dating, but I'm not really dating anyone. It was just him. I wasn't dating anyone extra. It was just him. But I would say we just dating. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We just dating. But I would ask him stuff like, "Do you ever live in? Like, why are you always in your car when you talk to me, or out when you talk to me?" Um, and he takes care of his nephews. Or he's helping with homework, he's cooking dinner. Like, these are the excuses. So I'm just like, well, we're not in a relationship, we just dating, so I'm not gonna put too much pressure. Well, 2 months later, his wife called me, and she caught me on a good day. Not that I would have hit her up rudely, but she did come at me rudely, and I was at work, and so I shut down. I'm like, look, one of those situations. Who is this? I'm like, look, I'm at work. Tell me what this is about. So then she asked me if I knew him, and I just started laughing. I said, of course. So by me laughing, she calmed down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was doubled over. I was like, I was like, of course he's married. Of course. Good guy, good personality, just a good overall good guy. So her and I are talking. I answered some of her questions, and then I got off the phone. Pretty much they share a phone bill, but she's seen my number a lot, and that's prompted her to call. He told me he was divorced, and she was like, "No, I'm his current wife." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Do y'all live together? Because this man FaceTimes me in bed, like we talk all the time. And she was like, she explained that she's sick. She doesn't work, so he goes to bed before. I was like, okay, well, you don't have to worry about me.
I should.
I was like, I'm out. Um, I confronted him. He apologized. He should have told me the situation. He was really liking me, really digging me, this, that, and the other. So, I left it alone for about a week because he was like, I'm in a situation. I can explain it to you. So I left him. So me being nosy, I wanted to know what the situation was. And pretty much she is sick and he just didn't want to leave her, by herself and this, that, and the other. However, what I'm just coming out of, and that was my argument to him, the type of marriage that I'm coming out of, I can't, I don't know what, I kept asking him, do you have an understanding? Because the reason why, because this man is out there. This man is, based off of our conversations and the date, he's dating, he's dating like he's single. So I didn't think marriage was there. So here's the dilemma. So, we going back and forth. He's like, well,
Kaisha, before you go on, there's something happening with the phone, I think. It's like, yeah, it's causing like a little bit of reverb. But before you go on with the story, because I want to make sure that we focus on what I believe is the key to this, or the focus of this session, which is using your tools to refuel.
yeah,
I really want to ask you if you are engaging in this whole back and forth and investigating after the investigation. So, and what do I mean by this? You discovered what is by her reaching out, but I believe that you already kind of knew, right? Because you gave us an indication that you knew. So now that you actually have the evidence that this person is doing what they're doing, and their own admission and whatever reasons why they didn't tell the truth and they were playing games and going back and forth, where do you feel the drain? Because I'm just automatically going there because this session is about power laws, feeling powerlessness.
So the drain came from, it's a challenge not to get sucked into that.
And you think you're not sucked in?
I'm trying not to be.
Okay.
I'm trying not to have sympathy.
All right.
Like you just said, I'm allowing, how come I didn't block? How come I didn't shut off, block, walk away, but I didn't. And that's my challenge.
Got that. So this session is about tools that we have available to keep us from going down the slippery slope that snatches the power away, or where we give up our power. So I have a slide, and Lord, Tiffany, are you able to support me with the slide with the illustration on it?
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at this, and then you tell me what you see, Kaisha, and then others that put their challenge in, the thing that is draining them right now, you tell me what you see and why this is relevant for this session. So what do you see here, sis?
I see frustration. That he resorted to trying to open up a can with the weapon because he doesn't have a can opener.
Yeah, so it may seem far away to folks who are watching this this right now, or in the Zoom space or in Facebook. You're like, well, how does this relate to what I'm dealing with? This session is about using your tools to refuel, and sometimes we bring the wrong tool to a situation and we make it worse. So what's the tool that's not creating refuel in this situation, that's actually draining you, exhausting you, creating more messiness and destruction?
What is the tool that is causing all of that?
What is the tool that you're using right now in this situation with this brother that is causing more imbalance, draining your fuel and your power, creating a dynamic that maybe is like been there, done that, and you're still bringing the machine gun to this situation when you know damn well it's going to destroy things, it's going to create distraction.
Right. Openness.
Openness is a beautiful thing. So call it what it is.
Yeah. No, I was saying I'm leaving myself open to allow these excuses and allow these people or person to just give me their sob story.
Got it. So if you wouldn't, if you, and you know, I'm a direct type of person. If you didn't call it openness, what would you call it? Because this is a draining energy. What would you call it if you didn't call it? I'm just being open and sweet and, you know, just trying to give the benefit of the doubt. If you
Right.
didn't call it that, what would you call it?
Oh, Jacqueline says gullible. Okay, there we go.
Gullible, desperate, you know,
Maybe.
grasping for straws when you know ain't nothing to drink on the other end.
Yeah.
Nothing good to drink. But go ahead, what would you call it for yourself? What is this dynamic?
Um, I guess the weak, easy,
What's that mean? What's easy mean?
just easy to talk to manipulate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weak.
And you know, it would be easy to convince yourself that it's coming at you, but it's coming out of you. You understand the difference? That what he's doing is coming at you, but it's coming out of you. And it put out a signal that attracted this energy.
Yeah.
And I don't mean I see a furrowed back brow. I don't mean this as a space of judgment. It's a space I don't think you don't know this, but it's just like you're going into that formulaic way of being, and this is draining. And this session is about refueling yourself, right? So
Yes.
family, whatever this is, whatever it is that you put in, and there may be many other things, this session is about refueling yourself, and you have the tools. Some of you have been in here over 365 days, right? You know, maybe not in the exact Zoom space because we don't do it every day anymore like we did the first 100 or 200 days. I can't remember when we shifted, but y'all been in this conversation, some of you, for over a year. So there's plenty of tools. You know, Coach Mika is in here and other folks who facilitate are in this space. You have been here. You know these things. You have packed that toolbox. It's overflowing, and you don't necessarily choose to tap in and give it when you're in this space of like, I'm getting a need met right now. So with that brother for the 2 months, what was getting fed? Where were you starving and that energy was feeding it?
Right. It was the attention.
Mm-hmm.
Just overall nice personality, complimentary. It was the attention.
Yeah.
It was the attention.
Right. So that ravenous appetite for the attention, had you not pay attention, had you not pay attention to some of the signs. And as soon as you started ignoring them, that's when your fuel started leaking out. Get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
to be honest, when did you start noticing that this brother was just engaging in communication with you regularly, but it was just odd the way he was doing it? If you're like really rigorously honest with yourself.
Maybe like after the first meet and greet, 4 weeks, within a month.
Within a month.
Yeah, because that's when we met. We met.
Like, let me slide past that. Oh, let me just ignore. And what's your signal physically? Because we have like physical signals. Like, what's your signal that gives you an indication that something is awry?
It was gut.
Yeah.
Like the day that his wife had called me, because we talked in the morning on our way to work, I didn't want to hear his voice anymore. And that was scary. I was like, I don't feel well. And I said that. I was like, I feel some kind of way. And I just didn't want to hear his voice. I didn't want to hear the topic. And it was scary. And so when his wife called, I said, Spirit was talking to me. I even said it out loud. I didn't mean to be giving her that much, but I was thinking, I was like, Spirit told me something was up. And that it was her. Something was up.
Yeah. And you know, my share is that it was tapping you on the shoulder earlier in the process, and you just kept it like, you know, I was like a fly, like, get out of here. I'm getting attention, right? So ego base ruled the day.
Yeah.
Spiritual base was just like, mind your business, spirit. I got this. This is good. I'm being fed. My belly is full right now. Yeah, so got that. So what we're gonna do, Kaisha, and you can, you know, use pen and paper so you can unpack and discover. This is a space of discovery today. And I'm grateful for you and just all the vulnerability. Like, your evolution is just so inspiring, and I know you work with me and others for where you have arrived, and there's nothing wrong. Like, what I love about this, and I say this about myself because I was involved with someone that was a long distance relationship a few years back, and the red flags were going off, and I'm like, okay, let me just see this, chill. And they kept doing stuff. And I just kept saying, well, wait. But one thing I will acknowledge from myself is I didn't do what I normally do, which is start to tinker or continue to tinker and try to fix. I was just like, let me get out of this. Like, cool brother, all just handsome,
Yeah.
healthy, but I was just like, I got to get out of this, before I go too deep. And then when I did clear the space, I recognized that I really wasn't into the person. I was into being
Yes.
with someone, but I wasn't
Yes.
into who I was with.
That part. That part. That part. That's
So
what
when he was gone, I was just like, oh, that was cool to be able to say, yeah, I have this person I'm seeing
crazy.
and
That's
taking
crazy.
trips like I'm going to see Boo Boo. And
Yes. That
but
was
when it came
crazy.
down to it, I really wasn't into the person. I was just going through the motions because it filled up an empty space. I was feeding the ravenous appetite of attention, affection, and being able to say, finally, I'm in something. But I was in some shit, not in something that was going to support me and refuel me. It did for a little while, but it was very short lived, and I let it last longer than it was really worth. Cool brother, but not my brother, So thank you for your honesty. So we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
take a
Thank you,
spotlight
Shawnee,
off.
for resonating. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
please. I love you so much. And grab pen and paper because we're about to do an exercise. It's 7:30, so folks can't stay on. I do get it, but I'm going to move through this and do what I intended to do and how Spirit gave this to me today. So we're going to utilize an already existing toolbox. I don't care what you say, family, Facebook family, Zoom family. We all have sets of tools that we can use to refuel, to repower, to recalibrate, to put us back on the track of manifestation, of transformation, all of that. We have the tools. And if you're a Wake Up family member, a Woo community member, part of the Woo Nation, you absolutely have tools. If you just started this week, you got a tool yesterday from Candace and Amelia. If you started last week, loads of tools, Dr. GY and Kadeem and the whole crew. So I'm like, y'all, let's check out what we have that we've been acting like we can't activate because of this employment situation, because of my daughter, because of whomever, my physical beingness, my body. Like, we have the tools. So Tiffany, if you everybody what do you call it, use your device if you're using your device, or if you have a notebook or a piece of paper bag, grab a crayon, a marker, piece of charcoal, do whatever you can do so that you can exercise your ability to be engaged in this activity. And we're going to explore the tools we absolutely have and how we use them or don't use them. I was going to play a song this morning. I love it. It's called I Got the Power. All of you have it. And you act like you don't sometimes, especially when things hit you from, you like, it hit me from behind my head. But if we really look at it, like yesterday when I missed my flight, I knew, like, Spirit was like, leave now, leave now. And I'm like, oh, no, I want to eat with my cousins. They barbecued. I need to stay. And it's like, no, leave now, leave now. And I didn't do it. And so I missed my flight. And so I'm here still in ATL because I didn't listen. So with pen and paper, number your paper or use your digital device to number from 1 to 5 and leave space in between each of the numbers. 1 to 5 and leave space in between. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at our tools, our power tools. And some of us, what do you call power tools are like the drills, the things that are electronic, the nail shooter. Like, it's not you using nail and hammer, it's like it shoots the nail in there, the stuff that gets us recalibrated and refueled very quickly. So our first power tool declaration is, who is a person that refocuses and refuels you? They tell it like it is, and they support you in being able to reactivate your power on a dime. So who is a person that refocuses and refuels you? And then write that person's name down and how they do it. And then the second one, I'm going to put up a slide so we can see this so you don't have to feel like, oh my God, I missed that. And then Charmaine will put it in the chat. All right, so 2, what is a place that you go to restore your power? So a person is number 1. What's a place that you go to restore your power? It may be in your bathroom. Some people have a prayer closet. You know how the church folks, I grew up in the church, and like, go in your prayer closet. What's a place that you go to restore your power? It might be the beach, the ocean. It could be on your back porch in a hammock, if you got it like that. For some, you know, you maybe have a sacred space. It might be your altar. What's a place that you go to restore your power? Might be your bedroom, your sanctuary. And as soon as you go there, you feel grounded, you feel aligned. And remember, these are your power tools. Tools you use to refuel. That's what today's subject is. And number 3, what is the thing that you use? A thing that you use to recalibrate your energy. Like mine, one of them is incense, nag champa, to be specific. What is the thing that you use to recalibrate your energy? And for those of you who saw the illustration that was put up earlier where the man was trying to open a can with a machine gun, you know, some of us activate the machine gun tools and it takes us out. Some of us, and I trust spirit, it's drinking or smoking weed, right? Or eating, stuffing your face. It's like, I'm feeling overwhelmed, so I'm just gonna eat and eat and eat until I feel like my belly is going to bust wide open and then I pass out. Some of you hoard or shop. So what is the thing that you use to recalibrate your energy, not drain your energy, not create debt, not create a hangover or feeling like depleted or defeated? What's a thing you use to recalibrate your energy? And I'm asking you to write this on pen and paper. If you put it in the chat, that's cool, but put it somewhere so you can be reminded that you have this thing that you can go to. Maybe it's, YouTube guided meditations. Number four, what is an action that you take to restore balance? And some of them, there may be duplicates, but I'm going to ask you to go to something else. No repeats with this activity because we have loads of tools, loads of them. What is an action that you take to restore balance? For me, it's using my physical body, like working out, walking, physical stuff. It releases toxins in my body. I sweat, I get the heat. It also grounds me for spiritual messages and stuff, like when I heat up my body. So what's an action that you take, beloved, to restore balance, to have that leak of power and fuel, have it be restored and replenished so your tank is filled up again, and you can start or continue with your day or your project or a conversation with this person that you're stressed out over and you're allowing to trigger you? What is an action that you take to restore balance and energy and equilibrium? Don't overthink it. It's right there. And number 5, last but not least, what is a song that shifts you from low vibration to high vibration, that reminds you of who you are? And that in the song that came to me this morning to play, and I'm like, I don't want Facebook to be cut off because I'm using the music. I'm like, can I pay it for a short period? But like, I got the power. And the song says, it's getting kind of hectic. I got the power, but we forget that we have it. And that song alone could get you like going. It's like the beat is like upbeat. Yeah, you just listen. It's like, yeah, I do have the power. And you can keep going. But what's the song that you can use that shifts your low vibration to high vibration? Write the title if you know the artist. Like, thank you, artist. All right. So I'd love to hear from some folks. Thank you, Charmaine. Josseed. This is the song. I would love to hear from some folks. And I want you to think about what you put in the chat that creates the drain of fuel. So Safia said her job. And I want you to look at one of the 5 things that you declared and which one of those, just one, could actually shift your mood and have you show up at your job not feeling like these mofos or this damn work or whatever it is that you go through when you're feeling overwhelmed by it. So Safia, I'd love to hear from you. Arian, if you have something. Stacey Evans. Who else is up there? Candace Hurley. Who wants to play with me today? Raise your digital hand. Admin, if you can support.
Scrolling across, we have Wendy Pierre with a raised hand. She
Okay,
wants to participate.
all right, excellent. So Wendy and whoever is next, I called on a few names you don't have to share, just an invitation. And it's,
then Cassie.
thank you. One situation, one thing that you looked at and you're like, you know what, I can actually tap in right here. Call this person, do this thing, be this way. So you ready, Wendy?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, awesome. And let's take my spotlight off or add her to the spotlight so we can just see her and me at the same time or just volley back and forth. Beautiful. All right, sis, what you got?
Okay, so I'm supposed to say what you're asking for again? Just
You mentioned earlier, I don't know if you shifted, but there was a move and this spacious thing. You mentioned your husband.
Oh yeah, okay, yes. Returning home. I moved away. I left my marital home 8 months ago, so I had to move back in because I had nowhere else to go.
Mhm.
Roommate situation didn't work out too good. So I'm back here, not back to mend the marriage or the relationship. I'm back because I need a place to stay.
Got that.
But at the same time, I find myself trying to initiate communication, which was one of our failing points. Initiate communication with someone who doesn't want to communicate with me. I'm trying to, be the bigger person. So I think, and tell him, well, I feel I'm back here because we have unfinished business, not necessarily to repair. I'm saying all these nice sounding things, not necessarily to repair the relationship, but to have better closure so we won't move on with the mess that we have existing. But I'm being isolated to one room in the house. I'm locked out from the rest of the house. And I say, why am I even trying to have conversation? Just live, come, eat, sleep, do what I need to do, and go about my business and leave him alone. I don't know if it's that I'm trying to prove to him that I don't know what the hell I'm trying to do. Why am I trying to initiate conversation with an unwilling participant? I'm trying to
Can I jump in?
fix him.
Yeah, can I jump in? Because my focus is, I want to hear what the circumstance was, not all the details, but what the power up. That's my focus today. What you,
Okay.
if you, but you said, and I don't know if you intended this, but I love when we have these slips of tongue. I'm trying to say these nice things so that I can ... or we can ... So you said an unwilling participant. I'm like, why would he be willing when you're being fake? That's to me,
Right.
And then it's just like you expect that your offer of mess is received as like a banquet or a buffet that he can just eat from when you're really, really not being authentic and you're manipulating by playing nice when you really don't feel it. You also are not taking responsibility for the fact that you move back in. You're like, I have no other place to go. I always find it interesting, and this is something that I've been coached on. He said something is a failure, or there's no other recourse, no other answers, when we haven't done all there is to do to manifest what it is that we need, which is a place to stay where there's peace, where there's alignment, where it's affordable, whatever the criteria are that you have listed. You went back because you chose to go back. And nothing had changed between you and him, but you went back with an expectation that all you had to do was sprinkle some, and I'm just gonna be straight, sprinkle some
I appreciate.
hot fudge on top of shit, and that it would manifest something beautiful that you can both nourish yourselves on, and that's not the case. So you got what you left, and you're acting surprised. You got what you left, and you're acting surprised. Because when he left, it was XYZ way. You're going back, and it's still that way. And then you think that if you, once again, tinker a little bit, it's going to be different. So in reference to your refuel, what's one thing that you can do so that you can recalibrate yourself, gain your power back, and own your stuff? Because to me, that's where the true juice is. It's just the power or empowerment is just telling yourself the truth and stop acting like you're the saint in this situation, because you brought him back the same thing you left with, and he's giving you back the same thing that before you left. That's how I see it. So what's on your power up list, your refuel list?
Okay.
One thing
Yeah.
that you can use. Mhm.
Continue working on me and stop trying to fix him, because I have to say that I didn't come back the same as I left, because since I left, I joined Be the Tree.
Got that.
Yeah, and I feel I have experienced a lot of growth in terms of how I deal with him and our situation. And I guess this is why I don't think it's fair to say that I'm being fake. I feel I'm being honest with how with what I want in terms of better communication, but I don't necessarily want to rekindle a marriage. I don't want to be back in a marital relationship with him. I just want us as two human beings to resolve issues, so that, as I told him this, so that we can both move on a better person to the next relationship that might come our way. That's what I want. I want
Okay.
to use some of those tools to just work on healing me, and not necessarily satisfy my ego, but honestly heal me. It's just that I feel this need to share the healing with him, and I'm not responsible for healing, right?
Thank you. So where the authenticity lies is that you thought your great transformation was going to be like this glow, that he would be like, not to get back together, but just like, oh, I want to be nice to her. I want to be back with her. Not back with her, but I want to be back in alignment with her.
Right.
And
Right.
one of the things that I share with people that I do work with as far as transformation or healing, whether it's one-on-one counseling or coaching, is that we expect that because we transform, the people around us are going to join us there. And they don't know this new person. And oftentimes they side-eye the new person, because they're like, I've known you 40 years this way, and you think because you changed in 2 weeks, I'm supposed to trust you, be in alignment with you. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
And some people are a no to the new person, no matter how awesome you are. Some of them are like, no, I'm good. Or I prefer the engagement we had before. This new person is unfamiliar, and so I don't want to go there. So who's the person on your number one? Let me ask you that, because you didn't necessarily answer the question
Okay.
that I asked, but your number one person, the number one answer, which is a person that you go to refuel. Who is that?
Oh, it's a friend in Trinidad who I communicate with on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So does that person tell you the truth?
Yes.
They do. All right.
Yeah.
So my offer is to have a conversation with that person about where you've been inauthentic in reference to coming back there, like really owning that perhaps, and I'm just putting this out there, you used him to satisfy a need. You knew you left for a reason, and then it's like it got tough, so then you went back, and now it's just like, well, why isn't he wanting to do X, Y, and Z? I'm like, there's, to me, some inauthenticity inside of the action taken and the way that you're being. And perhaps the friend in Trinidad can help you get to the root of it. So I invite you to consider that and to
Yes.
talk with the person to refuel and to get refocused. Will you consider that?
Yes, sure.
All right, awesome. Thank you for sharing, my love.
Thank you.
All right, we have time, it's 7:48, I'm already past the time. I'll do the two folks that have their hands up and then we'll prepare to close out. Who's next?
Yeah, Cassie.
Okay. Cassie, you ready?
Yes, good morning. Yeah,
Morning, darling.
the situation that I have specifically is I have a younger brother who's been incarcerated for a very long time.
Mhm.
And also the situation where he's affiliated with the wrong group, the wrong crowd, gang activity, and how that impacts me as the oldest of six siblings of my brother. And then I wrote down 5 different tools. The main tool that has been helpful for me is music.
Mhm.
Music as an artist, that has been very helpful.
Got it. No, as it relates to him, what has the music done for you? Like, how has it refueled, recalibrate, shifted your low vibration around what he's doing? Because that's 3 and 5. It's a thing, and then also I would imagine you have a song that or songs that you go to.
Yeah.
But how does it relate to him? How does it support you with regard to what he's up to and his gang activity and his personal choices?
Yes, it's personal choices. How it helps me grounded is it keeps me focused on a higher power, right? God,
Awesome.
well, who is truly in control, and also that he's an adult and he has to make those life choices. And I don't want to intervene in the lessons that he have to learn by being enabling. So
Hmm.
allowing him to live his life and live his journey, but yet music is the reminder for me to understand who is truly in control and where I need to put the focus for me to just be sane. Because there's only so much you can do when he is in the situation that he's in now.
Yeah, there's almost only so much you can do. You said
Yeah,
you, like it's me, but it's you.
yeah,
And
me. Yep.
right. And what's a song that grounds you in the fact that God is in charge and that the power belongs to him or her or them, depending on what your belief is?
Yeah. Well, for me, there's two artists. I love Erica Badu and
Uh-huh.
India, right? Those are two people that really always uplift my positive energy. And also just simply jazz music is very calming with
Mhm.
the so that's the type, those are the music choices that I select.
Yeah. Erica is a heavy hitter, like in her way of inspiration in India. Like that's my go-to. To me, that's like lyrical, sacred text for me. It's like, opening up chapter and verse like the Bible, because she has a song for every situation. And, I invite you before we close out, which we will in a few minutes, is to think of a song that when you are engaged in a dynamic where you think you might be able to fix or change or transform your brother, that it reminds you that you can be a covering, like sending light, because you're so spiritual. Like I know you, and use your crystals or do whatever you need to do. But this song reminds you that while you're a conduit of the grace of spirit and the power of spirit, you are not here to try to play God or spirit for him. Like he's chosen. And some people go to their grave never having transformed. That's something that I had to accept, that people get to choose whether they use their gifts, whether they actually do the right thing, whether they are honest and truthful, whether they are aligned with their own power, whether they choose to tap into their own inner strength. They get to choose that. I'm grateful that I woke up and I choose every day, but some folks don't, and that's their life journey. And I'm not responsible. I can support, but only if they want it, and I'm not responsible for them and their transformation. I can only be a support if they desire that. And so think of a song that can actually, like a specific song from one of those artists that can actually take you there. When he calls, or when you see something or hear something from family that, oh, he did this or he did that, that you're like, let me just press play and ground myself and restore, not try to jump in and save the day. So let me know what that is when you land on it. All right,
Well,
awesome. Thank you, beloved. All right, so who is the final person?
Sophia's hand was up.
Yay, thank you.
Candace Hurley's here too, if needed.
All right, awesome, no problem.
Good morning. How you doing? All right, so I have my power tools written down. The person that I wrote down for my job, because I gave that example earlier, that refuels me is I have a girlfriend, Shanice. I can't really talk to my husband about some of the stuff because she used to work for the same company, so she kind of understands. So that's the person that has permission. She has given me permission to vent to, so so it helps. That's one of the tools that I use. My backyard, I like to sit back there in a specific chair to kind of recenter. That's the place that I go and refocus. Back there, I like to meditate and pray. So that's an action that I take. I do use bath salts and essential oil to help rebalance and refuel myself. And the one go-to song that I have that I play almost every day is "In the Midst of It All" by Yolanda Adams.
Oh, that's a
a
beautiful
gospel song.
one. Yeah. Do me a favor, because we have these. You have your phone? Oh, you're on your phone.
I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody like the lyrics, I would love that to be dropped in the chat. Like, that song is so powerful. So to answer the question that she or what she puts forth, put your job inside of that lyrical layout that the song has. And so declare something that is a truism and that will refuel and power you up by using those lyrics. I hope I'm being clear about what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, think about the lyric and then put in a statement for yourself in reference to the job that just will open up something for you as far as a reframe and refuel.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's the first line. So I've been through many hard trials, and in the place that I work, if I put that into action or just trying to reframe it in the way that you're asking the question, there's a lot of things, a lot of shit that happens at work, just for lack of a better word. But through that, I still have spirit, I still have God to support me in the midst of all of this stuff that's happening simultaneously at the same time. Like, it's not like always one thing at a time. It's like it's compiled. So yeah.
And my share is, in the midst of it all, you're still standing. In the midst of it all, you're still learning. In the midst of it all, you're still manifesting abundance to feed your family, to take care of the things that are important to you. In the midst of it all, you are guiding and leading other people. Like, with all the shit that you just declared, some magnificent stuff has been brought forth. So what's one thing that has been just juicy that you've manifested in the midst of all the chaos with work?
A new position that was created for me.
Yes.
So that just happened.
The title itself, like, literally, they created something that didn't exist before because of how you are being in the midst of the chaos. They're like, she handles this well. She's a great leader. I mean, I know you, but I'm just like, that's amazing. What's another thing? I feel greedy right now. What's something else?
I will say the racial equity work that I'm doing at work.
Say a little bit more, because everybody doesn't know that what you're talking about. So say more about that.
I work for a private company, Fortune 500, and last year was the first time that we really addressed inequities in the Black community. And so I'm a part of, they created Black affinity groups, and we started to do work, actual action behind creating equity in a majority white organization. So.
Wow, amazing. So, we can refuel, even though it's tough, we can refuel and power up by thinking about, inside of all of this that's going on, I can point to this as a high vibrational thing that has gotten manifested. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that we should be looking for chaos and craziness so that we can be able to point to light inside of that, because things can be smooth. Like, I have to tell myself, like, everything ain't got to be hard all the damn time. Stuff can be easy and flow, and I don't even have to breathe. It just lands. But if you're in a situation where it's not like that, when we look for the gold, we can find it. But if every day it's like, this is horrible, like even thinking about Zakia, when she's like, my daughter's a bully, it's just like, what's some light that gets manifested as a result of maybe even her being the way she is? It's like, I get to learn that I can be at peace when somebody is in their chaos. I learned that. Or like, we have to choose it, or I invite you to choose it. You don't have to do anything, but I invite you to. So thank you, love, for this beautiful share, and for sharing Yolanda Adams. I love that. So play it if you can later on this morning, just to refuel. And I think I'm gonna look for it too. All right, so family, I'm about to do a guided meditation, and I love doing this. And thank you, Charmaine, for dropping in the lyrics. I love my team. They're just so awesome. So I'm gonna do a guided meditation, and Imani too. She put her song in here too. I love y'all. And please go off camera because I don't want my face to distract, and I'm going to go off camera too. And I'm going to choose to be a power tool today by allowing Spirit just to support me with the manifestations that have come out of this session today. So I'm gonna invite you to do what Louise offered up, which is to deep breathe. And so just inviting you to breathe with me, taking oxygen through the nose and releasing it through the mouth. 2 more times, oxygen through the nose and releasing it through the mouth. And 1 more time, oxygen through the nose and releasing it through the mouth. And right now, I want to take a journey that is going to be activated by our beloved sister, Veronica. The lyrics of I Am Light by India RE. I want to remind you that you are not the things that your family did. You're not the voices in your head. You are the light. You are the light. And as you breathe through your nose and allow yourself to just remember that the oxygen is a manifestation of your living, breathing self, I'm going to invite you to take a walk on the beach with Terry Ruffin, to feel the sand between your toes. And as you breathe and experience the light of the sun on the beach and that sand and the sound of the ocean, and for those of you who are able to even smell the smells of the beach and the sea air, as we remember that we are light, that we are living, I invite you to walk and to experience the beauty of nature. Thank you, Terry, for that reminder. And as we power up using the tools from Terry's list, I invite you to remember that if we focus on gratitude and our accomplishments as we walk on this beach, feeling the sand beneath our feet, we're reminded of all the things that we have manifested that have taken us to higher heights and deeper depths, like Safia, the manifestation of a promotion. That in the midst of it all, Yolanda reminds her that she is power and that she is able to create magic out of mess. And as we focus on gratitude, remembering that there were those who did not make it over the course of this year plus of COVID, that we are still here, burning candles and engaging in prayer and chanting, I am light, 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 I am light. As we remind ourselves that we can meditate before sleep like Mika, that we can release the energy from the day at any time before we sleep and slumber, that we can cling to our crystals in the palm of our hands, the amethyst, the jasper, the jade, that we can remember and be blessed by the fact that we are able to listen to music and call upon the songs that take us high when we are low. That in any time we can call upon the song, The Glow of Love. In the glow of love, all is possible. That we can call a friend like Safia calls Shanice. That we can call our mothers like Tiffany or our best friends. That we can remember to recalibrate by engaging in movement and dance. That we can play the song Superwoman by Alicia Keys and get back on track. That we can take the action. That we can be like Adam and call Uncle Tommy. That we can stand in our backyards and see the trees and feel the sun on our faces and use essential oil like lavender to reconnect to spirit. That we can ride the stationary bike and imagine ourselves traveling up and down the hills that are in our neighborhood. That we can call upon Mary, Mary, the song, the God in me. And we can remember that we are the manifestation of God's greatest work. Yes, that we can listen to Happy by the Blackbirds. That we can breathe and walk and plant in our gardens. And we can pace ourselves as we walk down the streets. No destination in mind, just walking like Ariane. That we can know that we are free. And so as we close out, I'll say these words from the lyrics that Imani dropped into the chat. I've come through many hard trials, through temptations on every hand, through Satan's tried to stop me, though he's tried. I still place my feet on sinking sand, knowing that I will be lifted. Through the pain and all my sorrows, I will be lifted. Through the tears and all my fears, I will be lifted. The Lord, the Creator, the Goddess is there to keep me. For he, for she, for they kept me in the midst of it all. Not because I've been so faithful, not because I've always obeyed. No, it's not because I trusted him or her or them to be with me all the way, but it's because they love me, because she loves me, because he loves me so dearly. She, he, they're there to answer my calls. They're there always to protect me. They've kept me in the midst of it all. I've come through many hard trials, through temptations on every hand, through Satan's or the darkness have tried to stop me and to place my feet on sinking sand. It's the love of the Creator, the love of Jesus, the love of God, the love of the Goddess that's loved me dearly, that's kept me and has called me and answered my calls, has always been there to protect me, who's kept me in the midst of it all. In the midst of it all, I've been kept. They've never left me. I've been kept. Oh yes, protected me. I've been kept in the midst of it all. I invite you to breathe through the nose and to release through the mouth. I invite you to breathe through the nose and to release from the mouth. I invite you to breathe through the nose and to release from the mouth. I invite you to use your tools to refuel and to power you up for the rest of your day, knowing that you are loved and you are cared for, knowing that you are seen and you are heard. And in the midst of it all, you can still refuel, power up, and move forward. Thank you. And Ashe. So we can put up our final slides for the day. Love you all. Appreciate you. So let's close out.
All right, everyone. Thank you, Shawnee, for such a powerful session. Added some more tools into my toolbox that the community shared, and we'll definitely be using those. So for those of you who want to stay in contact with Shawnee, here is her information. She is reachable by phone, Facebook, Instagram, and her email at soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com. Yep. Tomorrow we have Tuesday, May 11th. We have facilitator Dr. Jiwalia coming in with That's Deep. And then followed up on Wednesday, we have coach and facilitator Sahu Speed Kokeye with When Vision Speaks. The WU community, WU Nation welcomes all new members. If this is your first session, your fifth session, your ninth session, please drop it in the chat. Let us know you are here. We want to thank you for joining us as we elevate and ascend. Welcome to the WU Nation. We love you. This is our schedule. We are here live in Zoom and on Facebook, Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And on Mondays and Wednesdays, we have our short sessions from 7 to 7:30. We're live on Facebook and live streaming right here in Zoom space. Did you get your WU swag yet? Make sure you go and get your WU swag, get your shirts, your mugs, your face masks, and promote the community that you love being a part of. Thank you, everyone. Please stay in touch with us. If you want reminders when we're in session, what the sessions are going to be about, you can register at bit.ly/wakeupmovement. You can also follow us on Facebook. Join us bit.ly/WU community. Join us on Instagram at @WakeUpEverybodyVirtual and on YouTube, bit.ly/WU on YouTube. And for information, you can always email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. Everybody, please come off mute. It is time to shower our facilitator, Coach Shawnee Renee Benton Gibson, with all the love, appreciation, adoration she deserves for getting us energized this wonderful and magnificent Monday morning. Come on, everybody, rain it on Shawnee.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you for
repurposing
our gallery
the
view.
tools that I didn't realize that I had.
And I gotta keep
Appreciation.
Just remember to use
Work
them
you
all.
are a conduit of take a slide down so we
And
can
I
put
always
gallery
thank you for the gift and the light that you always bring to everybody's lives.
Thank you, Shawnee. Thank you. Love you. Let's rock.
Before you
I'm gonna miss you
You
by the day.
know,
I'll be there tomorrow.
just moving forward
Much
and
love.
to support who you are and what you just sets it all up.
Ashe.
I really want to thank you for that.
Thank you, Shawnee. Ashe.
appreciate it. Thank you
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
What day is today?
Thank you, Shawnee, for a beautiful session. Thank you, Shawnee. Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.